creation. A world on the brink. In the age of sorrows, dangers abound, and cataclysms loom on the horizon. But it is not without heroes. The Exalted, those chosen and empowered by the mightiest of the gods, are all around the world. They have, and can, pull it back from the precipice of oblivion. That is, when they aren't too busy fighting each other. Now, chose as Aura.
What do you mean I spent the past 6 hours in the arcade cabinets?
Korak as Lythander.
What do you mean this hot dog's $80? I just wanted a corn dog!
Alatos as Gavel. The Hammer of the Yoshi.
Oh, good. They took out the ball
Dogecoin.
pit this year. Excellent.
And Gibberex as everyone else. Oh god, no! They went too hard on the speaker in the nightclub! The whole club's on fire! Ah! Must band together to save the dreaming sea, and perhaps reality itself, for the greatest threat creation has ever known. All this and more on FateBreakers. That's not an exaggeration. There was an incident at MagFest this year where one of the DJs went too hard on the sound equipment and literally the speaker got set on fire.
Nice.
No one was hurt, thankfully,
Oh,
so we can all
goodness.
look back on the story and laugh.
Very nice.
Also, those were all very on-point jokes. Thank you very much for having your fingers on the pulse, guys.
You're welcome.
If it's one thing I know, it's conventions, despite not having gone to too many.
We might be able to meet up at possibly Dragon Con or something else in the far enough future where we'd all be able to do that. Anyway, the Seeker Beyond Humanity, what happened last time? Well, hold on a minute now, good fellow. Before I tell you what happened last time, I must ask, have you ever wanted more hands? No. Oh. What about extra fingers? No. Is there anything I can help you with? I don't want... listen, I'm looking at what I wrote down on your character sheet. I don't know if I would trust you as a surgeon. I'm more than the other guys, maybe, but, I would like to know what's going into my body before I agree to any long-time life procedures. I understand completely. Medical ethics are quite important here, even here in hell. What happened last time was the start of our bloody old jolly good convention. Why are you British now? That's unimportant! We all got in line, they had a lovely panel about how to put this fascist tyrannous asshole down in the dirt, something you're dealing with quite well in your world. No comment. Well, the fact that you brought it up is any comment, given that I'm a character that you made up! Ooh! Okay, are you going to give any more pertinent details beyond that, Seeker? No! And he just left. Went back beyond the fourth wall again.
Well then.
HellCon has officially begun. It's still partway through the first day.
Yay.
There have only been a couple panels so far, but there have been a cavalcade of wacky-ass characters, and I've been able to introduce a man named Nemen Loki with a straight face. In-universe, that's a perfectly cromulent name. Out-of-universe, that's a giant red flag to this guy's bad news.
Mm-hmm.
Also, major surgical ethics procedures were discussed on how to deal with Gavel's back injury, so she could get ready for the new season. No decision was made yet, because half the doctors wanted to brainwash her. The one who didn't want to brainwash her wanted to put jelly in her spine, and she's still considering whether or not she should go with Lythander's offer. Now, if you want to do some test runs before doing the actual surgical procedure on Gavel, there is one auxiliary party member that has a dramatic injury, hasn't been dealt with yet. Lythander, you want to do some veterinary work on Hopkins?
Oh my goodness.
Alright, I don't think that wellness restoring meditation actually costs a mote or anything, given that I don't remember you were doing much at the panel, but you could say that you were retroactively doing veterinary surgery on Hopkins. What procedure does this look like exactly?
What did Hopkins lose the ability to do?
Hopkins has been walking with a massive limp and several ribs are kind of perma-broken ever since he took a sword that would have cut off Gavel's head back at the Wild Hunt.
So what we're doing here is looks like
I'm on the edge of my seat.
feeding biscuits.
Biscuits. With
Yes.
gravy?
No gravy. Just sauce. It's just swassed up.
What's in the biscuits?
Gwyneth
Paltrow's head?
No, what's in the biscuits is a bunch of Mike Mini. So you know how I created life? I created minuscule life as well. So a bunch of tiny little goblet or mushroom people with that are going to stitch together the body.
Oh my god, you made gochizos.
Yeah.
No! They're so sad!
What do you mean they're sad? They love to
Oh
die.
my goodness.
They love dying.
They do, it's very funny. They will ride to Wonkaville shiny and chrome foiled.
Wow.
Lythander, I'm not sure if you've done surgery on any living beings before. This might be you drawing on past life knowledge, or from the memories that you've recovered from your mortal life back before you, were cursed with the memory-stealing sword. But in any case, whatever you do, the procedure's successful.
Yay.
I'm assuming you had Hopkins under some kind of anesthesia.
No.
After several horrifyingly powerful howls of pain as he's strapped down, then the camera cuts to Lythander, you and Hopkins walking out of the room.
It wasn't that bad.
No,
Jeez.
it was quite painful, but
No,
I
it
at
wasn't. You
least
just
appreciate
had men
you-
hammering you. Who doesn't like to get hammered by men?
Well, thank you for repairing my legs. I do appreciate that. And Hopkins walks off on 2 legs.
Oh my goodness sakes.
That's not how this works.
Why did you
That is not what I said.
Why did you give my dog a person spine?
I didn't.
That's not Lythander's doing. That's the demon mutations from earlier.
Oh no.
I couldn't save the legs. So, new ones it was.
Oh
I'm not sure.
boy.
Partway through, right about the time as the How to Kill Iolda panel wraps up, Hopkins goes trotting towards you, Gavel, on his back legs.
Wait, oh my goodness. Gavel's jaw drops to the floor when she sees this.
Gavel, the Mushroom Man was able to repair my spine. He licks you.
Lythander!
I'd like to imagine you briefly enter your devil trigger.
Just a flash of it.
Lythander is nowhere to be found.
All that's left is a Lythander-shaped cartoon outline in the wall.
Gavel is going to be she's going to be using her newly found wheelchair. She's going to be drifting around corners like we're in initial D with medieval
you get a good
Eurobeat
Akira
included.
slide in there.
Yes, and an Akira slide, yes. Trying to find Lythander to get some answers as to why my dog is
Lythander
standing
has
on 2
died.
legs.
Lythander,
Lythander's
go
died.
ahead and roll me a finesse plus stealth roll. Gavel, you could contrast with a fortitude awareness.
All right. Fortitude awareness. Okay.
The funny thing is, it actually isn't Lythander's fault, but you sure as shit don't
I
know
certainly
that.
don't know that. Nope.
Oh my god!
I misdid that, but that's
Yeah, that's
5
still more
successes.
Yeah, that's still more successes than Gavel got.
All right.
One family circus dotted line later, and you can find neither hide nor hair of the Mushroom Man.
Gavel's gonna grind her teeth and then go back to Hopkins / I'm assuming Aura was with Hopkins before Gavel stormed off.
Nue is also there, just kind of looking at him. What exactly happened here?
Lythander happened.
that certainly goes a long way toward explaining it. Well,
No. If he used mushrooms to fix it, why would it mutate his spine? Is this... And Nue leans down and yanks a single piece of fur off Hopkins, puts it in her mouth. This is the demon mutations, not Lythander. Or maybe it's both of them.
That's a bit shocking, but...
It's shocking that it's not my fault.
Are you saying that aloud, Lythander?
No.
No? Okay. Still quite strange that it would give my dear beloved dog such a odd mutation. At this point, Hopkins, I could soon turn you into a proper soldier.
Hopkins has been spending the meanwhile. An opposable thumb seems to have been added to his paws, and right now he is just opening and closing the door to the empty panel room in utter fascination.
Where are my balls?
My dear sweet dog. What has become
Where are
of
my
thee?
balls? Where are my balls?
He's still your dear sweet dog. You just gave him a voice box and a bipedal locomotion. And other things that have yet to be
Oh
apparent.
boy! All right,
Where are my balls?
I'm gonna give Hopkins
Where are my
I'm gonna give
balls?
Hopkins a pat.
Does Hopkins
Oh, yeah,
wonder where
that's
their
the spot.
balls went?
I'm not addressing that question.
Why not? Why don't you want to address the question of balls?
Because they're not in our court.
Also, the ball pit is not here in this year. Gavel established that in the opening scroll.
Indeed, they took it out this
You're right.
year because of the incident from last millennia.
Exactly. Checkmate.
Checkmate, atheist.
So, as mentioned in the pre-roll, Gavel, you had an idea for a panel.
Yes. Theory crafting ways on how to destroy a final glimmer of fallen star.
Ah, I see.
Mm.
Alright, that's definitely one that we can hold, but I do think it would be a little more pertinent to go into the anti-Iolda plan.
Yes.
First and foremost.
Absolutely.
Mm.
So, a lot of different details were exchanged between players and non-player characters at the end of last time. It's going to be a 4-obstacle venture. 2 of the steps you could take this session, and the rest of them are probably going to have to wait until next time as things escalate. You're going to have to use a different method to find out how to destroy a demon castle that is also the concept of tyranny, and each method only works once. Go ahead and pitch whatever methods you would use, either based on your own characters or resources or stuff others said. And because multiple players have archived my mentality, I could list off any of the NPC plans if requested, along with likelihoods of success.
Because if memory serves... I'm trying to think from last time. Because essentially we're just trying to find Iolda's quote-unquote heart at this point inside the castle, yes?
That's one of the major stickling points of, if you destroy his physical body inside the castle, because that still exists surrounded by his world body, that will deal major damage, but you need to destroy the castle as well.
Okay.
You have to do the Metroid castle escape sequence in addition to killing the final boss.
I see. Okay.
Wait, it's not Metroid. I'm mixing up Metroidvania games. Oh no. If you want some NPC plans listed off, Sky Sundering Shadow offered her Reign of Doom. Let's see. Directing other Third Circle demons and other Yozi against Iolda as part of a coup attempt might be successful. That was raised by one of the other Infernals, I believe. Lythander suggested growing mushrooms fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Like to essentially put mold in the castle and make him go the way of J.K. Rowling. Thankfully,
everywhere.
Thankfully, turfs do not exist in Exalted. Those were one of the slain primordials. Let's see. Other methods. Just fucking smashing the castle physically. with a big enough physical force or concerted effort of detonating shit alongside key foundations. Those are the first few that come to mind. There's also whatever you guys can pull out of your hats. Oh, right, the warstriders is also something Aura mentioned as well. Given that the adamant one does have working long-range cannons, because you took down the pilot from the inside, or rather, Amir took down the pilot from the inside via stabbing a 19-year-old girl to death.
Right. We have done. Oh, that's a panel I could do. Get in the robot. A sketch show where we decide if you can or cannot get in this robot for the purposes of destroying Iolda for the rest of time.
I love it. Let's do it. Sounds like that'll be our first panel for the session.
All right.
Seeker Beyond Humanity is first up in line in that panel. Why, hello there, madam. What an excellent concept for a show you have here.
Well, I just thought, hey, we have this particular warstrider lying around. We are in need of pilots. Pilots ready to do the right thing and help out a noble cause. And what better way to publicly look for the assistance of others than to announce it in a game show format?
Now I should note one quick detail, is that I have some connections in the Demon Unwoven Coagitated Network, I should note, and I should know that... What materials are the warstriders made out of, if you don't mind me asking?
What are they?
One is soul steel, the other's adamant.
One of them is soul steel, and the other is made of adamant.
Ah, that is good news to hear. I do have a new compatriot I have met with over the last few minutes who I do believe might be able to resonate quite well with the adamant model.
I see. Well, if they are so inclined, they can show up and try their hand at the contest.
You see his eyes roll into the back of his head as he is using Unwoven Coadjutor to contact them. What's one moment? Yes, they should be. Well, there is a quick panel they are getting out of in regards to... Let's see, how to backstabbing 101, but they should be here, several minutes after your panel gets started.
Backstabbing 101,
Lythander, you get the distinct impression Amir might be at that panel.
So avoid that panel.
How does he know? Is the friend Amir?
Amir is a solar, and solars resonate with all magical materials.
Huh. So how does this guy know Amir?
That's something we could address perhaps later in the session. Also in that panel is the redheaded fucker Nemen Loki again.
Mm-hmm.
Who is
Did we
kicked
kill
out.
him?
No. You're thinking of what's
The
his
other
name?
Nemen.
Nope, she's still Nemen Relensa and Nemen are both still alive. They are both Speedwagon spectators at the big duel first half with Iolda.
Gotcha.
He's just sitting in the back, gives a shit-eating grin wave to all of you. He looks hungrily at the warstriders.
Oh no.
There's also one other person of note at this panel. Fools! Do you think you can defeat Roxy, the Queen of Fangs herself?
Oh.
At this competition, I will be the one to lay claim to this warstrider and use it to bring this jackass low!
Oh no.
Lythander's eyes both blink non-simultaneously.
Like a frog.
Yes.
Oh, and Lythander's portrait reminded me. I should show this. I don't think I have. Let's see. Where is it? It's got to be in here somewhere. There it is.
What?
I made one for Cora.
Hey.
Too.
Oh my god! Holy shit! He's ascended to become a looter beyond looters. The super looter.
Ah!
Something about that smile reminds me of Koro-sensei.
Something like that.
It feels like he's going to shoot off his abs as an attack weapon. Is that where the glorious exalted bursts come from?
Although I will admit, I don't necessarily know why I gave Lythander big abs, but
Because I'm
it had
absolutely
just sort of
perfect.
happened.
Looters could shapeshift. You could just
just sort of
shapeshift yourself hotter if you want.
Nah, I will shapeshift myself into Edamon.
Good to know that you tricked
Good
Edamon
idea.
and stole his shape. Then
It's very easy, actually.
all you need is a
It
is a
is.
sensor bar or some Austin Powers scenery in the way of your junk.
Yeah.
In this case, the warstrider, and its giant cannons where your dick would be in the camera.
Yeah. Welcome back, Digi-Destined. I don't know. I'm tired.
Understandable.
I eat.
Sky Sonic Shadow is there, but only in spirit form. Via the necromancy projection. Just gives a curt nod to everyone. I've been nothing but helpful to you this campaign.
I never
What?
said that. I didn't say
Okay.
that.
Okay. Now neither did she.
He says
Other-
lyingly,
Roll back.
as the liar man lies.
Mm-hmm. There are also several other people in this panel in the background, but those are the main competitors who stand a chance at winning your game show. So, Aura, if you would like to begin.
Okay, let me come up with a plan here. Ladies and gentlemen, demons of all shapes and sizes, welcome one, welcome all, to a most unique game show, Get in the Robot. I'm your host, gentle morning aura that embraces the new day, and here we have our main contestants. The premise of the show is very simple. We present, at this time, me and my compatriots possess as 2 warstriders at our disposal. I, as a Solar, have been graciously piloting one of them, but in order to fully put Iolda in the ground, we will need someone to pilot the second one. That's why I have come up with a series of physical and mental challenges, is to test our contestants and see which of them is truly worthy of piloting such a massive weapon. But enough about me. Let's meet our gracious contestants. Contestant number 1 comes to us from the Silver Pact themselves. Let's give a big hand to the Queen of Fangs, Roxy!
Only a very few people in the room clap, but I should note, midway through your speech, shiny, 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 shiny!
Oh no.
An 8-foot tall,
Who's that?
lanky gremlin with Slenderman ass stick figure proportions charges into the room, attempts to plunge themselves into the warstrider, only to bounce off the shell because it's still locked. A few of the infernals seemingly there groan in recognition. Of course they would fucking be here. You see someone in the crowd murmur. They are still bonking themselves against the warstrider fruitlessly, not realizing that it's locked. Shiny!
Oh boy.
Do you know it's also locked?
What?
My cop.
Well, it's good to see our contestants are very eager to get the competition well underway, but let's continue with introductions. Miss Roxy, how are you feeling today?
I am having a wonderful time at this convention. Thank you very much for asking. I have had the chance to sample so many hellish delicacies. I have added no more than a dozen different shapes to my collection. And of course, I have recruited at least one of the Infernals here present to assist me in expanding Mahalanka. It has been quite a productive day, and I do hope I will continue to add so by winning your competition.
Excellent. That is absolutely, positively terrific to hear. And why do you think you'll be walking away with tonight's prize?
So wait, you're selling my warstriders
Borrowing. Leasing.
without asking
Leasing.
me first?
Oath sealing can mean that they are forced to return it back, I should note.
Still mine, though. I feel betrayed.
Well, I will
Lythander
answer
isn't
this.
here, so...
Do you seriously think this is the first warstrider I've piloted, child? I know what the insides of these look like. I have even constructed a handful of them myself in the day. I will win this competition because out of anyone in this room, I know how these fucking things work.
Lythander has modded
that
this
is
thing
quite
to be completely unusable by a normal person.
That's okay. Roxy is also a horrible gremlin. That defeats you.
Does it, though?
We'll find out based on what the dice sound.
Well, that is certainly a reassuring thought in this coming conflict. But let's see what the other contestants have to say. Rex, who do you want me to direct first?
Sky
You're
Thunder and
next.
Shadow sounds good.
And here, standing at around how tall is Sky?
5'11".
And standing at a positively the charming 5'11", we have the unmatchable presence, the one and only Triple S Sky Sundering Shadow. How are you doing tonight? Alright, miss.
I am also having a very productive convention. Thank you for asking. I have received a new student who I am in the process of tutoring right now. Unfortunately, the obligations of my master have been quite annoying to fulfill, but I have had ample time to pursue my own ends in the interim, especially because I have not slept the entire convention.
Well, that's certainly nice. It means you get as much out of the convention as you could possibly want.
Never have I made a wiser investiture of my magical powers than ridding myself of the need for sleep.
I see. And what do you think is going to be the most important thing in this competition?
Oh, the most important thing isn't what the warstriders already have, dear. It's what you can add to them.
Terrifying!
I can't help
I
but
look
notice
forward
that
to seeing-
Soulsteel number does not have its weapons platforms complete.
Absolutely terrifying. Thank you very much for
I would be the
that.
best among here to pilot those because I would be able to outfit it with
Moving
the
on!
mightiest weapons.
Moving swiftly along to our next contestant.
You take the microphone from her, she
Yes.
continues to geek out in the corner.
Okay, moving swiftly along to our next contestant, we have a presence and as I am fairly sure about, the infamous Mr. Amir. How are you doing tonight?
Silence. Amir isn't there.
He's in the cockpit.
Is Amir
Nope.
not there? I thought he did.
You were mistaken about the
he
identity
came
of
in.
this other person.
Or, so I thought. Who is this person?
All
Alright now, Jimbo.
All that you can make out is a massive, iconic anima banner opening the door and striding through with a blindingly bright magenta anima.
Magenta.
Magenta Anima.
You can't see this person's face. It's obscured by their anima. The rest of their body, you can make out what seems to be very dusty, layered clothing, the kinds of stuff you would wear while traveling through a desert to protect from a sandstorm. Hi, I'm Rashid.
Well, hello. Sorry, I mistook you for someone else.
Gavel,
Can't say
make
we've
a
been
difficulty
introduced
5
before.
fortitude integrity roll.
Fortitude integrity.
Mhm.
Let's see.
This is this is not a perfect memory effect so much as piercing a magical disguise thing that you might be able to draw from your background.
A magical disguise, huh?
8 successes. Or no, 9
Gavel,
9 successes.
Gavel, that's one of the ashen ones.
Oh, what?
You only are able to make it out in a brief flicker, but you know for a goddamn fact that they are a member of one of the exterior, smaller tribes that you grouped together as part of your opening crusade before the game began.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
This is one of the smaller tribes that had the Heart Eater come in and start poaching them.
Oh, goodness. Which one's this?
Not introduced before this episode, which is intentional.
Yep, fair enough.
This is just essentially a background character who you would have seen shooting a few arrows or some such.
All right.
Glad that we get to be introduced. And how are you doing today?
It's been ups and downs, to be honest. Iolda's been a giant asshole, and there are murmurs of agreement throughout the crowd. Yep, that's why we're here.
Certainly that is the case. Certainly that is the case, and is certainly why we're all here. And what do you think, and what do you plan on doing once you get... What do you plan on doing once you get access to this wonderful prize?
Killing Iolda?
Nice, simple, I like it.
And he...
Glad to have you on the competition.
There are 2 other contestants, probably, because I don't want to overwhelm you with way too many people all at once.
Yeah, there's only so many ways I can vary up this last question I keep asking.
Right. Seeker is going to be sitting this one out. Loki, at the end of the room, clears his throat. Walks up, does not wait for an invitation, stands by your side, tapping his foot.
Well, good evening, good sir.
It's still the afternoon, but I suppose that's fair.
Sorry, I have a hard time. I'm not used to the way time, the days work, measured days work around here. I don't come often, you see. But it's a pleasure to have you on the show elsewise. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling alright, to be perfectly honest. This has been a fairly entertaining convention. Scaring the shit out of that big lunkhead at his panel was quite interesting. I don't actually want to hijack Iolda, of course. Who would be fucking stupid enough to do that? I was just getting a ruse out of him. I'm here to kill him like everyone else is.
Well, that's certainly a reassuring thing. What do you think is going to be the most important thing in this competition? What do you bring to the table that everyone else you think lacks?
All artifacts have a will of their own. Being raised in House Nemen as I was, I know quite a way around inside the bevy of jade weaponry and armor that the house keeps it alongside all of its purses, and I know that each has their own consciousness, sapient or not. I know from my upbringing how to speak with these, and how to get what they want. And I'm assuming what you want out of this is a pilot for the machine. He says as he spends 1 mote for Naked Soul Insight. This is normally a question Infernal Exalted directed for storyteller questions about a character's deepest desires, their fantasies, wishes, and goals. The storyteller provides an honest, useful answer. When the Infernal leverages that desire to influence the character, she ignores the resolve increase from their major virtue. What does Aura want?
So, Aura does want a pilot for the machine, yes, that is true. But Aura is also using this as an opportunity to get to, essentially, what's the word in English? Expand her connections, essentially.
Networking.
She wants to, she wants to do some networking. in the con, and check out some people with experiences she might not have, she might not know of. Which
Jill,
is
your
why
internet
she
ate that,
decided
but I
to
think
go-
I get the gist of you wanting to network here.
Yes.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
Mhm.
Alright. So Loki looks around at that. You know, something else I could bring to the table on that front. My mother is here in the city of Hell.
Oh, well, that is nice. Well, that's nice.
And she knows better than to try
she's-
and kill any of you guys directly in a confrontation. I could put in a word for her, and she's built her own warstriders too, and she owns the biggest collection of them anywhere in all of the world.
Well, if the need ever arises that we need more than 2, we would be happy to contact them whenever possible. I thank you for the offer.
And as for the last participant who will seriously be making a headway, that one lanky fella is just bashing themselves against. Open come on, open the shiny. They turn to look at you with the Resident Evil camera turn. If the zombie had puppy dog eyes at the end.
It does.
And you, my good, scraggly individual, how are you doing this fine night?
I just want to get
Or,
into the shiny,
afternoon,
please.
Why do you want the shiny so much?
Because it's shiny.
Well, I can certainly appreciate the simplicity in that logic.
I should note, as this person was trying to open these boxes, there was heavy essence cascading off of them the whole time. This is a second circle demon.
Right. Are they a second circle demon associated with Iolda?
No.
Or...
Gavel, if you want to spend your
Oh.
unwoven coadjutor, I could tell you their Yakuza title card right now.
Oh goodness. Yeah, let's tap into Unwoven Coadjutator.
Maya, a second circle demon of the Fetic of the Ebon Dragon.
Fetic of the Dragon.
Linked to the same coremost soul of that Yoshi that... what's his name? Mion is now.
Oh goodness.
Yo, all my homies, we love Neon.
Genesis Evangelion. I appreciate is this artwork of the warstriders? That's real good.
Sort of. I'm just kind of drawing what comes to
I should
mind.
note, another very important detail about this person is the only article of clothing they're wearing is what looks like a pair of Digimon-ass goggles on their head.
Oh.
Hey, yo, did you know that Digimon got removed from Hulu? Now there's no
That
legal way to
fucking
watch
sucks.
Digimon.
That's horrible. The frame of it, you could tell, are made out of orichalcum, and the lenses are made of what looks like one of the jade colors.
Huh.
And as they continue speaking, they pop those goggles on and spend 3 motes as they analyze the warstrider.
Huh.
Okay. They analyze the warstrider.
Mm-hmm. Double 9s means that
Oh goodness.
they succeed on this at a difficulty rate of 7. Ooh! This one has a ghost of a stanky man in it, she says, pointing to the adamant one. It's got some kind of gross capitalist in it. Can I eat it? Hey, it seems like that when you weren't looking, fucking the economy snuck one of his soul fragments into there.
Wow.
Oh. That's no good.
Ooh, a landmine! Can I explode it for you? That's the vibe of this conversation now.
Well, no, I'm worried.
Oh, no, wait,
Well-
right. I need to be in this competition to get the shiny, right? I can do that.
Right. I appreciate the enthusiasm, kid.
I'm thousands of years old.
You are just a child.
That's great.
Lythander is pulled
I
into
am
the
not-
sea. Okay.
I am not there.
Lythander is in a Lythander, if you would like to pilot the warstrider instead of any of these people, you can feel free to come into the
if you
contest.
want, or alternately, Lythander could propose a challenge for piloting the robots.
Yeah, this is a collaborative seat. This is a collaborative panel.
So can Gavel at that.
Okay.
A challenge from all three of us.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Alright, so, what do you want to do as your first competitive session between your 5 competitors?
All right, so I was thinking of doing something like each of the main members of our party would propose a challenge for the competitors to undertake. One of you two would do it first, and then I would do the last challenge.
I'll say that Nue also has a slot here as a major Exalted ally.
Yes, exactly. I was thinking about that. So it would be 4 challenges, one from each of our major friends, with me as the last one. Because essentially I was thinking we start on the physical side and then we move on to the mental side later.
Alright. Nue could probably meet halfway in that, as she has kind of an idea that she shares off camera as a mix of a physical and intellectual challenge involving the warstriders themselves. So, who wants to go first with the comedy show panel plan?
Alright, hear me out. They have to name the warstrider.
Oh my goodness.
Ooh, actually, that's
actually kind of
yeah,
cool.
that is really good, and Lythander has to judge who has the best name.
They gotta do one for each of them.
Alright, how do you want to pitch this in character as the panel host?
Alright! The first of our challenges is going to be a mental challenge proposed by by one of my dearest compatriots. My friend Lythander.
Who is not appearing in this
One of
picture.
You cornered him in the bathroom and got him to write down a panel idea earlier, it's fine.
The process of piloting a warstrider is undeniably a very personal journey. One could even consider themselves bonded to the robot to the robot itself. Which is why I come to you with a simple request. Each of these robots has been nameless for purposes that I will not get into in this contest. But the perfect time, in order to make it yours, you must first name it. Find the name that you find resonates most, not only with your soul, but with the soul of the thing in front of you. The names shall be judged in matters of spiritual significance and emotional presence. The best names will receive points based on how they did, and will receive a headway in the competition. You must name each robot, and we'll receive points according to how good the names were.
Maya begins jumping up and down. Ooh, I have names!
All right. Contestant number 6.
I'm Maya.
Peas. Excellent. Feel free to start and pick out your name. What will you name our lovely Adamant Warstrider?
The adamant one is gonna be named Shiny Number 1.
I see. I'll write that down. Maya names it Adamant Warstrider, Shiny Number 1.
I'll call the other one Screamy, because it's screaming a lot.
All right. And the Soul Steel one is named Screamy.
Sky Thunder and Shadow face
Great.
palms in the background.
I can't believe she's losing this competition to Screamy and number 1.
It's okay, everyone gets a turn.
All right. Next, we have contestant let's progress in reverse order. Contestant number 5, I believe this is Rashid.
Gets up, looks carefully at them.
Oh, no. Actually, it's not Rashid. It's Loki. Rashid is before Loki, so he would be number 4.
Yeah.
Loki is number 5.
Loki gives them a quick once-over. What would Aura want their names most to be?
Good question.
Shiny number 1 and
would they just like? Are they just trying to like?
No, they know that through the charm use earlier.
Oh, they know everything.
They know what you would want them to be named.
But do they know that I am not the judge?
No.
Awesome. I would name. So I would name the adamant one, Taurus. I would name the adamant one Asterius, and I would name the Soulsteel one Lucifer.
That one is Asterius. That one is Lucifer. He says, grinning.
Do I know that he's reading my mind?
He isn't reading your mind. Is the weird thing here.
Do I know what he's doing?
You would know he's definitely using some kind of magic. This wasn't a mind-reading thing so much as a supernatural case profiling, like a Sherlock Holmes style. It's like, okay, I have an understanding of a person. This is what she wants the most. This is what she would want to do if our shoes were in the same spots.
Very interesting. I'll make sure to write those down. Asterius and Lucifer. Now, contestant number 4. What would you name these fine pieces of metal?
Gets up, considers for a moment. The adamant one, I think we could probably name the refractor unto infinity. And the soul steel one, we could call... Why don't we call it all, the unification of all souls as one? Just shorten it to unifier if you want to.
Fire. Very verbose. I appreciate that. Contestant number 3. And it's, I believe... Is it Sky? I know, yeah. We don't have... it's not number 3. It would be number 2 because you only have 5
Sky.
contestants. Okay, so number 2 is Sky.
The Soul Seal one, I believe I will give credence to one of the Neverborn, he who held in thrall. This one will be named as the Holder of Unheld Hearts.
Holder of Unheld Hearts.
And the Adamant one I'm a little less familiar with, but my understanding is that it's traditionally associated with truth, clarity, and sharpness. We'll call this one All-Piercing Arrow. Given that it seems to be an artillery unit. And that's Roxy left, I believe. Then.
And now our first contestant, Roxy.
She actually gestures for someone in the background to emerge, and what looks like a tiny, lidless eye made out of solid rainbows and reflected light drifts up to her. You, demon, what would be the most interesting names to possibly use for these child of Oramos? Those are unlike any other names I have heard, which I suppose makes them distinctive enough for me to use, which would be interesting, I suppose. What? The one on the left, the Soul Steel one, we will call that Korak. And the one on the right we shall call Alatos.
Oh, goodness.
Very, very peculiar. I don't think I've ever heard names like that before. Must be a dialect I'm not familiar with.
Specifically, it is of Autochthonia. The first I have heard of that continent. Interesting.
Interesting indeed. And now, Now that our contestants have so graciously provided their names,
Now they have to give us their date of birth and the funny little number
To
on the
ju-
back.
No!
to judge the, let's say, validity of these choices, please welcome to the stage my close personal friend, Lythander of the Seething Moon. Lythander, come up here.
Lythander is still nowhere to be seen.
I find a way to bring Lythander
You pull
up
out
here.
a sock puppet.
Lythander somehow communicates through the sock puppet.
Alright, hang on. Sky Sundering Shadow is gonna do a infallible messenger.
Lythander is hiding from Gavel.
Oh.
Smart.
Oh,
Well, you're
now
not
it
hiding
makes
from-
sense. I see.
Smart.
But you're not hiding from me.
Alright, Sky Sundering Shadow conjures... She writes something down on one of the, reflective, panels made of glass on one of the, side windows out into the rest of the convention. It vanishes, and in the next reflective surface Lythander looks, he sees a list of all the names that people pitched for the Warstrider, and there's a line underneath it, write the winners. Lythander, you can respond.
Lythander writes,
Rank them.
No.
Rank these. Rank them individually.
Rank. Yes, ranked choice voting.
alright, Korak, number 5, worst name.
Oh no!
Alright.
Shiny
Alright,
number 1,
fifth.
top tier.
Wow. All right.
Number 5. Shiny number 1 is number
No,
1.
I said top
First.
tier, not first. There's a difference.
Okay.
Okay. Not first. What place do you give it? 1 through 5th. 1 through 5.
2.5.
A fragmentary passage.
Whole numbers, please.
That was not the question.
You could just pick a winner if you want.
Just pick a winner, please.
I refuse.
Oh my goodness.
For each.
So honestly, I kind of what was the Can I have the names one more time? There was shiny number 1. There was
So Maya, for the adamant robot in order, they are shiny number 1 from Maya, Asterius from Loki, really Asterius from me, Refractor unto Infinity by Rashid, All Piercing Arrow from Sky, and Alatos by Roxy.
all right. So sorry, my brain no work for a second. My brain cut out the middle section there. So I shiny number 1.
Shiny number 1. Asterius. Refractor unto
All right.
Infinity. All Piercing
All right.
Arrow. And Alatos.
Refracting onto infinity.
Okay.
Alright, so that's number 1.
Rashid for that one then, and for the other ones,
For the
go ahead
Adamant.
and read the other ones as I said.
And-
Water.
For the Soul Steel ones, we have Screamy, Lucifer, the Unifier, Holder of Unheld Hearts, and, of course,
Holder of
Korak.
Unheld Hearts.
alright, and Sky wins first place for the Soul Steel one.
Okay, so Rashid and Sky have 1 point each then.
They have 1 point
These are not what
each.
we're naming them, though. No one
What,
said
you don't-
Pablo. One of them's Pablo.
Well, Korak, you don't want to have a mech named Korak? Alatos, wouldn't you love to have a giant mech named after your screen name?
I mean, if it was scary enough, certainly.
Maybe if they were switched then.
Yeah,
What if it was a bull? What if it was a giant
that'd be pretty
bull?
hype.
Now, what if it had a two-tone shirt, white hair, red eyes, and a chin scar?
Oh man.
What if it was a two-tongue tunic from Shaolin Showdown?
Oh goodness.
That'd be hard to pilot. It's very heavy.
Yeah, I know. It's 2 tons.
All right, so it sounds like Gavel would be up next, but there could be a brief interstitial if you want to have any words for Rashid as the votes are being tabulated for round 1.
Yes, I would like to talk with Rashid for a bit before we get to my portion of the judging.
He just says "don't" as you wheel up to him.
Not even a single question.
No.
Chosen of the Exigent of Betrayal. Do you really want to see where this goes?
Yes, I do.
Who knew that they would betray us?
That's not quite what he's referring to. You see a flicker of
Lythander
his
randomly appears behind. He's now in the audience, eating popcorn.
Okay. The point of the Chosen of Betrayal, I remember this from the prior holder of the Exaltation, is that they are a walking mass bomb of psychological warfare. They cause betrayals of concepts wherever they go, as a grand underminer of the Yozi. Being near me would ruin anyone's plans.
I see.
It was all I could do to safeguard our people against Iolda before things started to go sour. I cannot remain where I was previously, elsewise I fear for the safety of the Ashen Ones.
I see.
It is not what I would want to do, it is the nature of my power.
Understandably so, but just because I know your little secret, as it were, doesn't mean I'm just going to give you a free point. You're still going to have to work for my point.
I don't think I can work for anyone's point anymore.
You would be surprised.
So would you. The betrayal, the greatest, but the most subtle betrayal of all is, after all, a betrayal of expectations.
And
that sounds like something to revisit later.
Yep.
For now, let's go on to round 2.
All right.
I think this would be Gavel's round.
Indeed. So, when it comes to piloting a giant mech, you need to have, of course, one important aspect of them. The pose. The entry pose right before you get into the fight with the big bad of the week. So show Gavel what pose you got that you would use to intimidate your foe.
Show me what you got.
Alright, starting in order. For Maya. They just start fucking doing the DMC5 troll dance. See if I can find a gif of it.
Is it the funny Nero walk?
It's the 2 frames of animation jutting between each other.
Yeah, okay. Alright.
Like, the one where they go, "This is our future." Oh, yeah, I found it. Thank you, Reddit. It's the only time that phrase will ever be said.
Mm-hmm.
She just starts doing this.
Yeah!
I believe it is, Rajesh up next.
Alright.
Rajesh vanishes.
Oh.
And the robot begins to creak and move as if someone were at the helm, even though you see no one is there. As it slowly begins to stand its entire body into a giant X.
Alright.
No Gurmlagon pose, 0 points.
For Loki, he spends another mote for that same charm. What pose would Gavel want these most to make?
Let's see. Okay, so the one Gavel would most like to see is basically like a squat pose with like the devil horns with both hands, and like as much as a tongue you could get from a robot sticking out.
Does Gavel want them to do the Russian squat dance?
Yes, but with the devil horns as well on the hands.
Alright, but hear me out. This is the one that that chills that Aura actually votes for.
That would make sense.
Just so that this cheater is just like, why does this keep on happening to me?
I'm not sure if I would call it cheating. Okay, yeah, I would call it cheating. But no one said cheating's against the rules.
You're right.
Also, Rex, you keep saying Rajesh. I think it's Rashid. You said.
Oh, yeah,
Rashid.
sorry, Rashid.
Yep.
Rajesh is the name of a character in another game I'm in. Sorry.
That's hilarious. You're good.
No problem.
Shout out to Cow. Anyway. Next up is, I believe it's Sky Sundering Shadow after you see Loki do that squat dance. I'm not sure if Gavel realizes that this seems way too much like what I imagined. That might be kind of sus.
Mm-hmm.
Sky Sundering Shadow, she's just gonna do a fucking JoJo pose.
Okay,
Let me see if I could look up the one that Polnareff does.
Oh, I was about to say which JoJo pose specifically, because there's a lot.
This one.
Yeah.
My sister's soul would not be able, even though this guy's an only child.
Oh my goodness.
She just does.
She somehow manages to make it like so that she's like standing this way.
Well, she is here in spirit shape, so she's kind of phasing through the floor as she does that.
Which makes it better.
And now up for...
I don't know.
You first.
I don't know how she did. I do not know how she did that. The floor is pretty even.
She's phasing partially through it. That's how.
Interesting.
Yes.
And for the final pose, Roxy explodes into a giant swarm of chimpanzees.
That's not a pose.
Oh.
Well, no, each chimpanzee is doing a different JoJo pose.
Okay, alright.
All at once. Every single pose Hirohiko Araki ever put to paper. So limited in your options, why stop at one pose before battle to intimidate your foes?
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Now the real question is, who's the judge here?
As a matter of fact, I am.
I want to know what Rashid is thinking. Or Rashid is thinking here. Loki, sorry.
Loki.
That's a little bit of the Trunks internal screaming here.
You gotta think for yourself, man. Considering the options here, let's see. This kind of risks damaging the internal structure of the thing. This is a little too impractical.
Roxy is still all over the room, I should note. And she's gonna spend an excellency on doing a stealth check in the background.
Who's
Roxy.
doing that? Okay. Can I get a... Why is she doing that?
Well, first you need to give me a awareness plus fortitude roll to make sense of if you could spot her doing shit. And given that she didn't roll great on 16 dice, you might be able to.
Okay, let me see if I can.
Wow.
No dice.
Damn. But she has experience moving in a swarm body.
Well, looking at our options here, I am proud to announce I believe the winner of this particular contest is...
Oh no, my microphone!
Oh no!
It's okay, it's okay.
Roxy!
Wait, aren't there two winners, one for each warstrider?
Not this round.
Does Roxy...
No, in this round we only have
Does
one.
Roxy have 2 points then, and the runner-up gets 1?
Okay, runner-up gets 1, so Maya gets 1.
Alright. They're still doing the troll dance when you look back at her.
Goodness.
Alright, next up is Nue then, I believe.
Nue this time.
You know, as entertaining as that was, those really didn't have too much to do with the warstriders themselves, mechanically speaking. I think I would want someone piloting a giant death armor suit to be able to know how to fucking work on the interiors of one, right?
Oh yeah, so there's no double point. So like so far it's Maya has 1, Roxy has 1, Rashid has 1, and Sky has 1. The only one without a point.
Which is really funny because he's been not quite reading your minds to get the fucking answers. But he keeps messing up which answer he has cheated on the set test.
Oh goodness.
Alright, so, or could we get these open, these cockpits open as the next step? We'll give everyone a few minutes inside each one. Is the goal here?
All right. How do I ensure that that Maya won't run away with one?
You're the Eclipse cast here, buddy.
You gotta be the one to seal it.
Seal it with a kiss.
Okay. And I
So,
do have
fun
a
fact, in
Hearthstone
other
with some-
editions of Exalted, there exists a system called...
I do have a Hearthstone with some leftover.
Yeah, you can
mana
just
on
pop that
I
if you
can
want.
tap into. All right. Got it. All right. Each of you will be allowed how many minutes? 5?
5 minutes, yeah, and as Nue says this, she expands her body until she is her giant, mythological... She expands her body until she is her giant, mythological Nue creature war form, reaching up to the very top of the ceiling. The goal is to see whoever is able to actually get the arms working to punch me.
All right. You heard the lady. You all have 5 minutes on each warstrider.
This is probably going to go down mostly to dice rolls and narrated approach on that case, then. First up...
I'm going to go ahead and oath seal it, since you all agreed to be on this competition. You implicitly agreed on the rules, so the seal
as
is
an
made.
additional note, in prior versions of Exalted, or 3rd edition specifically, there's a system called decision points, which is when someone's trying to convince you to do shit, if they succeeded at it, you could cite an intimacy of greater strength to represent one set of values or principles winning out over another. Maya would be going through one right the fuck now because she is a minor intimacy telling her to steal it, but a major intimacy caring more about shinies, artifacts, over that. So you definitely see her considering to take it and run, but having possession of the thing at all is... a more surefire means of getting this done. As she is deeply considering, but eventually she's like, okay, fine.
Capital. All right. May the best pilot win.
Alright, Maya is gonna jump right the fuck into things as she spends 3 motes to activate her prowess of... I'm sorry, Kendrick Lamar is apparently doing something. My siblings keeping us posted. Speaking of impressive feats of technological prowess. This is being recorded as the Super Bowl is happening. Hopefully...
Rah, go team.
Go Kendrick. Anyway, next up... words. Focus. Sorry. Alright, next up... yeah, so she's gonna spend 3 motes to activate her, Double 9's ability on understanding the feat of technological prowess of an artifact. Well, that's 6 successes. That is going to, that's going to beat Nue's defense of 5, so Maya is actually able to hop right into the Soulsteel one, pop it open, and all of a sudden, it completely shifts configuration and body structure. From a skeletal long-range mech into a short-style brawler type unit. As she just starts going, yes, I can put this shiny in with this shiny, and then via stretching the metaphysical magical manufacturing methods of this composition of the material, insert other technobabble here, its fist shoots out from the wrist socket, and it gives Nue a fucking rocket punch.
Oh my goodness.
And Maya pops out, well, miss, was that a good attack? From Loki.
I would say so.
Save the feedback for after all of us go, thanks.
No.
Is Lythander there?
Let's see. And now you can feel free to try on the Soulsteel one. Did they do the Soulsteel one, or did they do the
That was the Soul Steel,
I
I
think
think you said.
Do they? I don't think they have to try on both. They just have to pick one, right?
Okay, so they got 6 successes on the Soul.
Hey, as a quick note, the Soulsteel mech stays like that when Maya leaves the cockpit.
Boo! 0 out of 10.
Mm.
I want my baby back.
All right, so she got 6. So she got 6 successes. I'll keep that in mind.
And it
Next
now
up.
has weaponry in the form of melee rocket fists.
And now it's Loki, I believe,
Yep.
right? Let's see how well he'll do.
So the goal is to hit you with the warstrider, right? Yep, that's correct. Scrolling back up to the physique charms for yes, he's going to be spending a mote on 10 Ox Meditation. When the character attempts a feat of strength, reduce the difficulty of the roll by her essence +1 to a minimum of 1. And he is going to combo that with the Physique Excellency to pick up the warstrider and hit Nue with it. And he's going to be spending a mote on the Physique Excellency as well. This is reduced from difficulty 10 to difficulty 6.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he fails. 13 dice, only 4 successes. And unfortunately, he's the wrong cast to benefit from any strength boosting stuff, so... He was definitely trying to do something impressive and out of the box after he realizing that method of cheating isn't working, so maybe this method of cheating isn't working. Oh no, the adamant one's too heavy. He does have enough time left to do a potential backup roll with his worst pool, though, to actually pilot it properly. Of doing things the right way. This is going to be a straight pull.
Oh!
Will he... Oh, he botched!
Wow!
8 dice, no successes and 1s. Yep, that's a botch, alright.
Goodness sakes.
So here's what you notice as a result of the botch. As he is going inside of the warstrider, he accidentally turns on the fucking speakers system. Yes, mother, I'm inside the cockpit.
Come on.
No, they don't know that I'm here. Or they don't know about your connection here. Yes, I'm sure I can install the back door. Putting it in now. What do you mean? What's up?
I was gonna say, Lythander is in the cockpit and punches. No. This is mine. Out.
Well, before he says that, let me get the rest of his little speech
Okay.
out there. Yes, this means... Yes, the hijacking mechanism machine... Wait, what do you mean I'm on... What do you mean it's on? What do you mean they heard all of that? And that's when Lythander gets the punch
Yeah.
in.
Lythander just throws him out. Grabs him by his neck and the scruff of his neck and throws him out.
That's not going to require a roll, given that he botched. Because you just... Yeet! Like Uncle Phil throwing the guy out through the door. That's the gif I'm imagining. Let me see if I can get the gif. Oh, yep, there we go. I don't know why he threw a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, but I guess he did.
We're rolling with it now.
Mm-hmm. That's the position Loki flies out in. Nue just kind of pokes at him with the side of her snake tail. I think that means no points. You lose this round by default. Fuck you. And now for Rashid.
Indeed.
Come on, Rashid.
Rashid is going to spend a mote on attack on 10,000 strikes from within as he touches the Soul Steel unit.
Well then.
That's not going to be a success, but some of the magic does take hold to give a little bit of an insight. As Lythander, are you still inside the mech as this happens?
Yes.
You see some of the souls within this deal shoot out of the unit itself like a fucking projectile stream before they are drawn back in by the magic binding them in to shoot at Nue like a cannon. She is able to block them via deflecting them with a spear point perfect parry, but he caused the bindings of the soul steel to momentarily falter and betray their structural integrity to let the souls escape as a projectile. The only time you've ever seen anyone able to get the souls out of soul steel even temporarily safely.
Write this down. Write this down.
Yeah, that seems pretty important. Nue, well, I'm sorry, man, you don't really get a point because you need to actually land the punch, and I blocked it. Still ahead. It's fine. As long as I win the last round. Alright, Sky Sundering Shadow is up next. I know exactly what Sky Sundering Shadow is going to do. As she goes into the mech and you hear from the inside, okay, to the weird, stringy lady's credit, she was actually able to put in some pretty interesting and inventive upgrades. I do have to thank you for leaving these specific hard points unblocked, though, because it means I can do this. Spending an excellency on her, Underworld, genius pool. Finally, a good roll in this section from me. 9 successes. Let me go ahead and get a relevant gif here of the attack she unleashes. Hundreds of tiny essence particulates rupture out from the Soul Steel Yoda out of ports that you don't even know were there, as every soul in the mech screams in perfect unison as a sonic attack that also unleashes coherent essence beams and knocks Nue off her feet.
Huh.
And she slides out kind of sheepishly. No, I'm sorry, unlike what she did, that's not a permanent upgrade to the unit. That's a me thing. But I will be able to do that again to Iolda if I pilot this. Plus, if you let me get more usage out of it, I could install the permanent full-time upgrades, but that's a story for later. Now it's Roxy's go. As she goes into the Adamant Warstrider, I'm gonna have her spend a Sorceress Genius pool with even more crazy amounts of dice. With a moat. Oh, wow. Roxy, that's only 3 successes on 17 dice. What happened there? Now, this is actually very important. Let me double check what No Moon cast feature or anima powers allow for. That is her cast, so scrolling down, because that might add a bunch of extras. The Lunar adds their essence and automatic successes to 4 advanced rolls involving observation, study, or the pursuit of knowledge, as well as focus will rolls. So Roxy adds 7 successes.
Huh.
So she still succeeds.
Okay.
She's a very high essence. She's one of the highest essence exalted alive.
Oh, goodness sakes.
Oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. Only 6 successes. She's only essence 6. My bad. It's Mahasuchi who's slightly higher than her. But that's still enough to succeed. See, here's the thing. She doesn't get it working. She comes out with a complete schematic and blueprint of the entire mech from top to bottom so she can make it again later.
Huh.
But that's not what the thing is about, right? That's not what the competition is about.
The competition was about gaining access to the warstrider, was it not? And now I can make a copy of this for myself!
Okay. But are you gonna, do the thing and, use the...
She does have enough time to potentially get it possibly working. So let's see if she could use her her secondary pool to actually get this operating into an attack mode. She can't.
Wow.
The Warstrider moves 1 step, and damnable thing is too solid! If it were made of moon silver, I'd be able to operate this much more smoothly, but as it is made of adamant, I cannot at this moment. But in the future, when I remake this in my own image out of moon silver, yes, it will be quite the weapon to be feared. Let me use every ounce of your rage.
Is she doing the Mojo Jojo thing right now?
A little bit, yeah. Very appropriate, as her spirit shape is a chimpanzee.
All right.
So,
well, yeah, we have a clear winner.
I'm assuming it's Sky, but I think there was also one.
Maya also.
Yeah, Maya also succeeded.
Yeah. So I think it's Sky at 2 and Maya at 2 then. Oh no, Maya at 1.
Maya at 1. Sky's at 2.
Sky's in the lead, but if someone ties her in the final round, then there could be a tiebreaker of some variety.
Yes.
Alright, final round, Aura's competition.
Alright. So, This is going to be a thinly veiled. Judge of character moment. Let's see what kind of charms I can use on this idea. Storm, Sun King Radiance, Spirit Maintaining Maneuver, Motive Discerning Technique. We could do Motive Discerning Technique. Integrity Protecting Principle. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. Let's end this particular game show by bringing back another game show. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Motive Discerning Technique lightning round. First, I'm going to spend a mote on a harmonious presence meditation. I will add automatic successes to all social influence, excluding read intentions. I ignore up to 3 dice of mundane situational penalties to the social influence actions that arrive from my unfamiliarity with customs, and I add an additional automatic success because I am at active.
All right. Go ahead.
I don't know if I would be at iconic after making. I don't think I'd be at iconic because I spent 5 anima for that greater.
Probably
oath.
not. No.
But either way, we are here. All right. So, first things first. I'm going to use Motive Discerning Technique as it was originally written before the nerfs, and I'm going to use that to ask each contestant the same questions, and me and my party members are going to out of character determine what questions we're going to be asking.
All right.
But first things first, I'm going to roll Finesse Embassy with an Excellency to determine these things in 2 automatic successes. That's going to be 5 successes.
So, I think you are using the revised version, actually. So 1 mote per question, but I could say you get a free one as part of activating the charm.
Alright. So, you got 12 motes to work with. I think I'm gonna ask 5 questions. I'm thinking 5 questions is a good amount. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start asking some questions. Which of these questions do you think are interesting to ask our 5 contestants? And keep in mind, every single contestant will be asked the same. Will be asking the same question.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this, and I'm going to introduce it as the Silent Judgment category. I am excellent. As you know, I am an excellent judge of character and have never been wrong. As such, I will take a brief moment to quietly observe each of our contestants and determine which of them is more worthy of receiving the last point of the competition. And through that, I will be making use of Motive Discerning Technique on each of them. So,
before you
here's
do
some
that,
questions.
Unbreakable Laws of Hell. Loki is going to trigger Unbreakable Laws of Hell to right around him. All contestants must actually do something to earn points in any competitive game show panel held throughout HellCon.
All right. So I can't do that then.
You could still do that in order to find like their motivations and shit. It's just that Loki just stood up and said, "No, you're not just gonna decide who fucking wins."
All right. In that case, I will still do that, but then I'll come up with a different
And he's
thing.
looking you dead in the eyes as you declare this in front of the whole crowd. It's just like, you forgot where you are, don't you, Solder? This is hell.
Fair enough. Though I'm at least a little bit interested in learning a little bit something about our contestants. I mean, really, at the last stretch of the competition is the perfect time to get to know them a little better. And then saying that, I will go with mode of discerning technique. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go back to the game show. Let's see these questions. Does the character feel positively, negatively, or neutrally about me? Do the character and I share a virtue? Do the character and I share an intimacy? What haven't I noticed about the character? How could I get the character to do what I want? Who's really in authority here? What do I have that someone here wants? What would constitute a grievous faux pas in this circle? What grudge is being hidden here? And who doesn't belong here?
Okay.
We have 5 questions we can ask.
So one of them is definitely who's in authority here, especially since we had Loki's little slip up that he's clearly being someone else's foot soldier in this matter.
All right, so you want to have that question be directed
who's
toward
really
Loki.
in authority here?
All right. Directed toward Loki. Who's really in authority here?
Well, the answer to that's actually pretty fucking complicated, because he is, spending a mote on a custom mode of guarded mind mentality. You're gonna need to succeed at a force plus awareness roll to pierce through that.
Oh boy.
Equal to his resolve of 7. Boosted through shit.
All right. I get 2 automatic successes thanks to my harmonious mind meditation. Hold on. Let me write this down. And what do you say the roll was? Force presence?
Yep.
All right, let's see if we have... Okay, we do have some of that. That is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Goodness
12
sakes.
successes.
So the answer to that question is pretty fucking complicated, because he's using infernal magics to force himself to be loyal to his mother until he's not. Intolerable Burning Truths is a charm that... Charms aren't usually things that you would know by name, but you know that he's using magic to fuck with what he cares about to make sure that he can stay true to Nemen. He cannot willingly betray characters from who they descend, treating attempts to force her as unacceptable influence.
Ooh.
Gains double 9s to interact positively with these characters and attract them with a navigate roll. No matter what you do, he is going to work for Nemen until he's not. But also what you could tell is he's also kind of manipulating his own mother in the means of keeping her house alive and having her seize the Scarlet Throne via fucking with as much as he can in this infernal get-together to scramble for and scrap for power and influence and blackmail material over people. As much as she's using him as a tool, he's using her as a tool. Whether or not Nemen knows this is unclear.
All right. And all right, next up, what other questions do you want to ask, and who are we going to ask?
You can also
them
improv
to?
questions in the spirit of this charm, if anything comes to mind.
Right.
Lythander, is there anything you think would be funny
Not
to
really.
ask? It's okay. I have something for you in the back half of the session for you to contribute in.
Let's do what haven't I noticed about the character
Okay.
on Roxy?
What you haven't noticed about Roxy right now is that, you noticed what she did earlier, but you weren't quick enough to stop it because you failed the stealth roll. She just stole a bunch of people's shapes earlier in this panel. As part of, the mass voguing that she did earlier, she helped herself to a half a dozen different people's, infernals, specifically, shapes. Including, multiple people at the panel itself. She has Seeker's face for now, that's for damn sure. She also has, Rashid's face. And a bunch of other background infernals who may become relevant later. Noticeably not Loki. So yeah, that's what you haven't noticed you pick up on now is she was, for as much as she's also interested in the warstriders, she was also taking the opportunity to do face shopping.
Okay. All right. Next up. What do you think, Gavel?
Do I share an intimacy with Maya?
Does Gavel share an intimacy actually, no, it would be me because I'm the one using the charm. So, do I share an intimacy with Maya?
Let me pull up in your character sheet and quickly glance at your virtues to answer that question, or your virtues and intimacies rather. Okay, opening Chulz's copy. Everything has value. Everything has meaning.
Ah.
You can definitely tell this is a very starry-eyed lady who has genuine interest in everything around, childlike wonder in everything around her.
All right. Next up. One more. We got Loki and Sky, or Rashid and Sky left. How about who doesn't belong here with Sky?
It's less that who doesn't belong here and more the fact that everything that's happening here is going to be reported back to Final Glimmer of Fallen Star. And when I say everything that's happening here, I mean, Star is able to scry on all of her abyssals, you realize, because you sense a tinge of a presence as you're using your magic, and you probably have a bit of a nosebleed going through the sheer psychic feedback. As you realize, as long as Sky is at this con, Final Glimmer of Fallen Stars sees everything that's happening here. It is unclear if Sky knows about this.
She might not know. Got it. Alright, final mote. What are we going to be asking Rashid?
I will let you have the honor of asking Rashid the last question.
Okay, I guess we can go with what grudge is being hidden. This is my favorite.
What grudge is being hidden here in regards to Rashid?
Yes.
Give me a moment to think of how best to answer that question, because it's kind of complicated. Okay, I've got it. He does not like demons or the Yozi. The main reason that he wants to get into this is, so that he could cause the warstriders, to continue to... He does not want to stop at Iolda.
Oh.
But unlike, the other plans of, targeted Yozi assassinations that, Adrian, was planning to do, he seems a bit closer to... It's less that he wants to kill all of them, and more that he wants to, stop them from fucking with the people he cares about. He is seeing all of these demonic cults that are happening, and, like, causing wars all over creation to funnel food and resources back into Malpheus now that the residents actually need them. And his response to that is going, No, fuck you. That's our stuff. You're here in your own world. Stop rubbing our world to solve your own goddamn problems. Please ignore the fact that my past life's artifact is what's causing these problems. He wants to end the wars in creation by, shutting down the services trying to feed Malphians. That's a little fucked up, but it's a complex situation in regards to all the shit going on here.
Right. Alright, I know the perfect final piece of competition. Warstriders, as we all know, are not simply machines of war. Warstriders are beings unto themselves. They have their own particularities. They are impressive in their construction, yes, but they are impressive more so in the way their souls behave. As such, I ask you, my friends, to bond with your warstriders. I want you to go on a date with you.
That's hot.
The one judged to be most compatible with their respective chosen robot, with their respective chosen warstrider, shall win.
Okay, I'm just gonna tell you Loki fucking loses. He only cares about these machines as tools and stuff to an end. I'm not gonna make him bother at all. He fucks it up. Made absolutely dog shit cake and is forced to leave the Great British Bake Off.
Oh my goodness.
Neat.
Okay.
Rashid gets into a love triangle with the mechs. Like, you see them actually self-animate and start fist-fighting over who he gets to pilot. I'm going to roll off for the warstriders. Just, the first roll is going to be the soul steel unit, and the second one is going to be the adamant unit. They're both using the same dice pool. It's just a matter of who rolls higher. The adamant one wins.
The adamant.
Oh.
I should note, this all happened in the span of a few seconds, but you could see giant magenta cartoon hearts floating around the warstriders' heads as all the souls trapped in the soul steel were screaming Rashid's name, begging them to save them again from this torture. And then the adamant one steps on them. And it nuzzles him cutely. Like a pet.
All right. Next.
None of what Maya does is something I'm willing to describe to the audience. Let's just say that it's something that would belong more on Monster Mates.
Oh, I see. Fair enough.
You put the lime in the coconut and you shake it off.
Hi! My name's Maya, and I would like to host Warstrider Mates. Today we're gonna talk about mech girls.
Oh goodness! Please, please
That would be a way
please
to go.
refer to, I forget which season, the Android Girls episode of Monster Mates. I think that was in season 1 or 2.
Yeah, this feels like a natural follow-up of Giant Robot Girls. I'm not gonna describe exactly what she says, but there is a degree of romance.
I see.
Well, okay, you know what?
All right, we're gonna cut to commercial. when she
You know
does
what? Actually, let's just retcon that a little bit to be a bit more tame, because there is a lot of that, but I'm not sure how much of that space I want to cover. She has massive sloppy makeouts with both warstriders. Which is
That's
still
right.
uncomfortable to see, but it's at least something we can get away with in this age bracket.
Indeed.
that. Okay. Next up.
Sky Sundering Shadow sets up a nice, lovely, quick 5-10 minute coffee date with both of them. And by the end of them, you see that both of them have been gifted with a sorceress signature or necromantic rather, signature on the back of them, as well as citizenship papers for her new reality.
Oh.
Lovely.
And for Rock,
Maybe a little business oriented for my book, but still pretty good. Pretty classy.
Roxy's gonna try something on Aura. As she just walks over to you, ignoring the mechs for now. If you allow me to win the competition, then I will lend you my aid in laying low your enemies. On a persuade action on you. That is 8 successes. I will bring this to force against Iolda, and then you... Oh.
Wait! Unbreakable laws of hell.
Oh, fuck!
She can't. She can't sneak her way out of it.
Holy shit, Loki did something useful! To everyone! Oh no, his worst nightmare! Oh, hang on a fucking minute.
He was helpful.
This is going to cause something after this occurs, after he realizes what the fuck just happened. Because she made a very convincing argument. I'm not sure if you could block that through your own means, but Unbreakable Laws of Hell means that she actually has to do something as the fucking, letters flare in the sky as he's like, oh. And you requested that I date these mechanisms?
Yes.
How cumbersome. Very well, I shall do what I can here. I'm gonna roll her a tertiary pool to see how well she does with this. Probably not super great. Well, it's not a botch, but you definitely tell Roxy is someone who has not been in a romantic relationship in a long time, probably centuries, as she is using slang on these dinner dates as she brings forward the pickled heart of a dynast, a snack that she was saving for later, and she attempts to share them with the warstriders.
Oh.
Very sincere.
It's actually, it's definitely a very out there thing, and she's engaging in cannibalism, but that's kind of what Lunas can kind of do as part and parcel with their powers. But she is genuinely trying to romance these machines, even if it's being filtered through fucking Rule 63 Dr. Doom over here. What if Dr. Doom were a lady who sucked toes? Not that last bit, but that's the gist of it.
Alright, I've seen enough. Rashid wins.
The date or the whole competition?
Rashid, the date. It means he's tied with Sky. He's tied with Sky with 2 points.
Okay, this seems like a good thing to decide. For everyone, what do you think a good tiebreaker would be?
Ooh.
Alright, good question. What are we gonna do?
We could do one thing that some bigger end conventions do, and when
Race?
some of the bigger conventions have like a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, those small little arena things where you hit each other with the rock'em sock'em like robot like giant fist things.
They must giant robot fight.
They must duel on a small platform and see who knocks the other off first.
Giant robot sumo.
All right,
Rashid will be piloting the adamant one since it has bonded with him, and Sky will be piloting the soul steel one since she was already like kind of proficient with that.
Alright, this is going to be a roll with Sky Sundering Shadows, a Necromantic Genius pool versus Rashid's Insane Stunts from Nowhere pools. Sky first. Both spending motes on excellencies, of course.
Alright,
Wow.
she gets
10 successes.
10 successes versus Rashid's pool.
Rashid has a slightly smaller pool, but he will be doubling 9s on this as a result of a custom ability. As a result of an ability he will have in regards to betraying someone as part of this act. And he is spending an excellency as well. Holy shit!
Right,
holy shit!
Actually, pull it out.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
10. They tie.
What the fuck happens in a tie?
Roll away.
That's a great question.
Because it is exactly perfectly even down to the wire.
Wow. A coin flip.
Who wins the... They're not, and neither of them
Coin
is the
flip.
defender. I guess we do the coin flip.
I do think that, instead of a coin flip, I give a potential third alternative.
Oh.
Oro doesn't pilot one of them. Both of them win. They both pilot their respective unit against Iolda. Because that fight was just that fucking impressive.
That's fair. I'll agree with that, yeah.
Alright.
Wow.
I guess we'll do that. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 winners.
Sky does a slight bow for the whole crowd, and Rashid just kind of does nothing and doesn't even leave the robot. So, this is going to lead into the first venture step. Would you rather have Sky or Rashid? One of these guys will be doing an aid action to the other. Is there anything you guys want to do in order to buff them? I could say Lythander, since you haven't done much this scene, if you want to spend 2 motes on morale-boosting meal to help everyone out, that'd be fine.
Sure, I'll do that.
Alright, sending out a bunch of mushroom cakes to everyone, I take it?
Sure.
Alright, they are going to be both cashing this in for double 9s on this punching out Iolda venture here. What specifically do you want them to attack the foundations of the castle? Do you want them to try and aim for his core directly? Do you want to try and find Iolda's second circle demons and try and snipe them to prevent them from interfering with future operations?
I'm going to say second soldier. Or second...
Okay, snipe his 8 second circle
Yep.
souls then. They're gonna... These two are having a goddamn armored core level while this con is going on. I think that Sky built up a lot and hasn't had much screen time. She is going to have the opportunity to go hog. Rashid will be doing a betrayal here as a result of See, here's the thing about how this is going to work. Give me a moment to think of how best to phrase this. Because regardless of anything else, Sky Sundering Shadow is going to be making that first roll on the venture. I'm going to go double check the Abyssal cast advantages again for what she's got going here as a Daybreak cast to see if she got similar bonuses to Roxy. Craft and Sagacity rolls. So not quite Operation to Navigate, and she only has a secondary pool skill in Navigate compared to her crazy Sorceress prowess. She does have an Excellency in it, though, but she'll be rolling only 13 dice rather than 16 like she does for most shit. With double 9s, though. Thanks to Lythander's buff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Difficulty 7 in order to start plowing through all the second circle souls, but this will be buffed via the 8 action from Rashid. The betrayal, in this case, is going to... Yeah, I know exactly what's going to happen here. He is going to be doing an 8 action as he begins drifting inside of the unit, and everyone can see this as part of the convention as the panel begins to filter out and the assault begins. As Rashid is inside of it, the magenta light begins to refract inside of the prism of the entity over and over. Oh, did we decide on what names these guys are getting now, by the way?
Well, they both named them individually, and won first place for each name. Rashid is Refractor onto Infinity, and Skies is a Holder of Unheld Hearts.
Okay, Refractor onto Infinity seems to be living up to that name pretty well, as it begins shining with every single color of the rainbow, and as his attacks begin to hit and ravage the second circle souls stationed at various points in the convention, all this time they have been inside a battle group being held off single-handedly by our good old friend God Eater Ball, keeping true to his word, distracting them the whole time. Oh, I see that your cavalry's here, Gav. Who the hell are you? This is going to be a roll of cursing the demons that succeeds on all but one of them, but it will mean that Sky Sundering Shadow gets to dice cap. Wait, no, 7. She rolls 5 more dice, which isn't capped, but will probably win because she'll get 5 more dice with double 9s. She only needs 2 more successes. And she gets it. And she has 2 overflow to be spent on the next step of the venture. As a massive cannon gathers all of this bursting transformative light and blasts through the heart of almost all of these second circle demons, as their bodies begin to wither and atrophy and turn ethereal. Demons should not be able to dematerialize in Malpheus. That's a side effect of being in creation, is that they could go insubstantial. Gavel?
Oh?
You feel their connections to their respective Yosi fade as you watch this spectacle. And realize he turned these demons into ghosts.
Oh, no.
He severed their connection to their Yosi and killed them but also spiritually transmuted them in the process to ensure that they would live on in a spiritual form.
Wow.
He changed the category of the entity that they were forevermore. A betrayal of the self.
Huh.
And it is as a result of that Sky Sundering Shadow is able to exert her authority over ghosts. You will all leave the service of your master now, hence and forthwith. I am an Abyssal Exalted, the chosen of the Neverborn themself, to whom you are now a collective and part of. I hereby command you, by the powers invested in me by the final glimmer of Fallen Star, to leave this place now and await me inside of my domicile. And she is going to be spending a mote on... I don't think there's an exact charm for this, but a lawgiver of hell has the ability to give commands to ghosts, and, they kind of... a spiritual command to that kind of category of being. Let's see if she can succeed on that. Double nines again. While she's not able to sway all of them to her side, you do see at least one or two of them head back to her estate. The rest of them have assorted virtues and intimacies, so they could go, no, fuck you, I'm still loyal to Iolda. But at least one fragment of Iolda does seem to be swayed to her side and walks off to her house. Potential side effect of this, if you kill Iolda, some parts of him may still live on.
Yeah.
Or, the way that these work are, these are all effectively intimacies on Iolda's character sheet that have life now. And I think the intimacy that was swayed is, we were wronged, in regards to the Yozi.
Huh.
Perhaps I'll alter that later, but for now, step 1 of the second circles are out of the way. Operation and panel success. In between panels, however, we have time for, Lythander. What have you been up to this whole time?
Existing.
Alright. Do you want something to happen to you as you exist, or do you want to enjoy a nice quiet moment at the convention by yourself?
I'm enjoying this nice quiet moment.
Do you want something to happen to you to interrupt that nice quiet moment, or do you just genuinely want to hang for a second?
I just generally want to hang for a sec.
Okay, in that case, you just have a nice moment observing all the different weirdos and freaks of this whole convention walking by. You're having a good time people watching.
Nice.
Roxy is up to some chicanery in the background that you see. You probably see a bunch of those laser beam cannons, but I do think you actually capture a glimpse of Rashid blasting those demons so hard they turn into ghosts. From Archive Mind Mentality, one of the things that Dokuzan spoke to you about how to free souls from soul steal, was to make sure that was to transmute their existence so that the ghosts inside of there are no longer ghosts. Rashid just demonstrated some spiritual transmutation for you there. That's the kind of thing you would be looking for in your ultimate goal. A potential avenue is to getting further for your anti-soul steal plan, getting on Rashid's good side.
Nah.
Okay, your call. He is the boss of Betrayal, the chosen of Betrayal, after all. And Lythander does hate Betrayal.
Oh boy, do I.
Pedro walks up and is going to attempt to do a necromantic working on one of the ghosts. Oh my god, Pedro!
Goodness sakes.
Pedro casts Theft of Memory on one of the fucking... This is an Untitled Goose Gang segment where Pedro is going to siphon millennia's worth of memories from one of these guys. He succeeds!
Oh my goodness sakes.
Because of the wound penalties and distractions applied from being fucking killed that Rashid applied to them, Pedro just kind of waddles up to one of them, uses necromantic circling, and comes back to Lythander with a memory crystal clutched in his beak.
Truly like father, like child.
Yeah.
Thousands of years of demon memories added to Lythander's inventory. Beyond that, Gavel, did you have any ideas about your panel?
Let's see.
We could save it for next time.
Yeah, let's save it for next time.
Okay, in that case, I do have another event I wanted to foreshadow as I take a sip of water.
Yes.
What does everyone do after? It's near the end of the first day of the convention, the 5-day convention. Is anyone going to go to the nightclub? Or go to any of the late-night fun panels? Or do any shopping at the bazaar? There is a chance that Gnosis might be back if any of you guys want to confront him again.
I'd love to confront him again. I want to get
Good
that
question, indeed.
I want to get Ed's parts.
Gavel will
I
look
want to get
around
Ed's
in the
parts
bazaar.
back.
The bazaar of the bazaar,
Mhm.
naturally. There's a lot of weird shit for sale. Oh, you're back? Okay. Okay,
I am.
including a pair of cool robot soulsteel legs.
Ooh.
In case you have legs that don't work right now, you could replace your current ones with.
Oh. Maybe.
Hey, wait a minute.
What's wrong?
I recognize those legs.
They're so toned.
Ed, are those your legs?
Make a force plus sagacity medicine check to turn Ed back on.
Oh, geez,
You can have one of your friends do this
I wish-
instead if you can find Lythander or Gavel.
All right, I need to find. I mean, Gavel's right next to me. It said, "Gavel, how are you on?"
My sagacity is 5.
All right, could you turn Ed on,
Yes.
please?
What do I need? What else do I need to roll?
Force
Or-
plus sagacity.
Excellent. All right. Oh, let's type that in correctly.
That's a 10.
9 successes.
All right, look at
Oh,
that.
yeah, someone just took out one of the synaptic connectors and disconnected the spine. You see, for a normal person, you would not be able to get them talking in just from having the head, but A, he's still alive, even if discorporated, and B... So, here's the thing about Ed. You see his hands and his legs on for sale, but you might be able to get him into a shape like this for now until you find the rest of his body.
Huh.
Let me find the relevant One Piece clip.
He's just buggy, is what you're saying.
Yes, yes.
The buggy with the
Excellent.
2 hands, two feet, and a head.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
No
Ed,
names.
you're awake. What the fuck? What happened? Where's the rest of your body?
Oh, this has been an incredibly long nap. Where am I? Where's my body?
You see your legs right in front of you.
Why are my legs over there? Explain!
It's a long story, pal. A real long story. Well, at the end of the day, we're looking to find the rest of your body. Somebody stole it. And, I think they're reselling it at this convention.
That's... Alright. Remind me to write down some... And whoever's responsible, I'm gonna have to make a few rounds later.
And then I believe Ed will be able to, might be able to use,
Well, the person who stole it, you did have warning.
canvas things.
It was Tepet Atep,
Oh man.
who stole it on the request of Gnosis in order to get this fucking clown off his back.
Tepet Atep was the one who stole it from you.
Right. Remind me to give him a look.
You do see Gnosis at the stall, just kind of polishing one of them. Oh, looks like you might be in the market for some new legs. How can I help you? He says,
Indeed.
as if you didn't try and kill each other back in the Wild Hunt arc.
Huh. A real forgive and forget kind of person. Didn't figure for the type.
I got out of it alive, and as much as I wanted to humiliate the Wild Hunt, I saw some of the aftermath, and that was funny enough for me to let it go, even though you fuck with my own plans. It's not the ending I would have wanted, but it's one I could live with.
All right. Well,
So you want to buy some new legs?
Ed is going to commit one mote for relentless tracking
That
protocol.
depends. Do I need to get rid of my old ones? Oh.
Actually, my friend here is in the market for some new legs and arms, potentially. And I present Ed's disembodied head.
This is the fucker Ed was trying to track onto and reform. He absolutely knows who this jackass is. Unfortunately, his spear is also missing, and so is the rest of his body, so means of doing shit is kind of limited at the moment.
You!
Oh, it's you! He says with a shit-eating grin. You look a little different since I last met. Everything alright down there?
No. Clearly that is not the case. And you know why.
Yeah, there's no point beating around the bush. I wasn't gonna listen to a word of whatever the fuck you were trying to say in regards to getting better when I've done nothing wrong.
You have done so many things wrong. I am staring at something wrong you did right now.
He glances down and just looks at the ledger. But I haven't been cooking the books. Why would I cook my own books? That would just be stealing money from me.
You stole my body!
Oh, right! Yeah,
And
that. I did do that. Well, not directly. But I hired a guy to do it and gave him his cut.
Well, whatever. Alright, so some of my body's here. Where's the rest of it?
I don't know.
Did any of that come through? Okay, good. I was worried. I was like, whoa.
He just kind of shrugs
What do you
completely.
mean? What do you mean you don't know?
I mean, I don't know. Atep took his share of it. I took, the limbs and some other core components, and he took most of the torso. Said something about turning it into a hydroponics garden.
That sneaky crud! Alright. Looks like I'm gonna be doing some chasing on my free time. I might need to get a loner. If only I didn't leave my contacts. It's at home. This is the worst place to wake up. Well, either way, I will be requiring my body and my body parts back, if you don't
As
mind.
long as you all swear to stop following me around and forcing me to do shit I don't want to do.
All right. If you think.
And let's see if he has any major intimacy.
Well,
to prevent him
I'm
from
this. I'm the hell version of the same cast as your lady friend, as your lady cowgirl friend over there. I can oath seal that.
I will never strike an unarmed foe. I must protect the weak and voiceless. Health of the self comes before all else. I must punish evil wherever it may lurk. Well, health of the self comes before all else, and right now he needs some health of the self, so he'll probably just deal with that. Just deal with not being able to deal with Gnosis for the time being, and in the interest of pursuing his body, getting his body back.
Alright, he is now in Buggy the Clown mode, because that is greater oath sealed, and, body. He's now Buggy, with the little legs and arms jutting out.
Yeah.
Once again, far from ideal situation.
Pleasure doing business with you. Now never talk to me again.
I would be happy not to. Now, let's see if I can't find that Tapetatup.
Oh, good luck. He's real hard to find.
Not on my watch.
And commit one mote for relentless tracking protocol. While the alchemical is engaged in a venture to track the target, they automatically know the target's location and direction at the start of each interval. And while pursuing their quarry, needing food and rest aren't obstacles the Exalt faces.
Well, he's not using his perfect stealth charms right now, so you would be able to tell he's somewhere in the building, but this means he exits the scene and comes back later. So that Chills doesn't have to play two characters at once. So he waddles off. Lythander, a weird robot freak without a body and only legs and only feet and hands, waddles past you. No reaction, just the fucking pirate gif of the tea here is lovely.
Oh, I said, huh.
This is Lythander right now. Slash shades of, what a beautiful duwang, chew.
What a beautiful duwang. Chew.
You know, for all intents and purposes, it did seem like they were trying to help.
Oh, wow. There's a lot of little freaks here. Would I have recognized him?
You would have, yeah. This was the alchemical who, dragged fucking, Spider back to you for quote-unquote reform purposes. He appears to be in a much worse place right now.
Good for them.
No, that's categorically not good for them. And I say to Gnosis, for all intents and purposes, they did seem to be interested in helping. What even transpired between you two? And that made you put a hit out on him, essentially.
He was part of the Wild Hunt. He was one of those fuckers having me under lock and key for the crime of exalting wrong or some such.
So, out of character, that's clearly a lie. But would I know that's a lie?
Absolutely. That is what Gnosis would lead with. Given that, hey, but from my... That's a good question. Do you want to give me a read intentions roll? He is committing him up for guarded mind meditation to raise the difficulty to 7.
Right, and I will be, let's see, where do I have anything on Gnosis?
Oh, by the way, Gnosis has to make a hard bargain as a result of making a joke earlier.
Oh no.
So, you choose for him.
Does
Either
he?
he takes a -1 to dice rolls or something bad happens to him.
Let's see. I think he takes a -1 to dice rolls.
I think something bad happens to
Because
him.
he's trying to...
This doesn't just happen to
I'm
you
trying-
guys. NPCs can trigger the end of joy, too.
Alright, so something bad happens to Gnosis.
Okay. That'll be banked for later in this conversation. For now, go ahead and roll for read intentions.
Alright, let's see if I have anything that helps my read intentions. I have a thing that specifically excludes read intentions, annoyingly. I do have Aspect of the Virtuous Warrior at 3 to resolve against Instill Weaken actions. That's Destiny Manifesting Method. That's for defense. And Hypnotic Tongue Technique. No. Okay, I guess we're just rolling this raw. And I ignore up to 3 dice of mundane situational penalties to social influence that arise from unfamiliarity with past actions.
I'm gonna say that applies here in terms of canceling the resolve bonus that he applied from Guarded Mind Meditation.
Alright, I'm gonna be rolling. What do I roll for this?
Finesse plus your choice of awareness or embassy.
Alright, I'll be rolling with... honestly, both of them work. They're both with a 4. Alright, I get a 6 from that.
Yeah, that's a lie. Specific...
Well, same, and also, let's be frank here. They walked in They literally came up to us with Spider in tow and said, "Please fix," and without attempting to kill us or maim us or do anything like that the Wild Hunt would normally do.
Correct.
He was very polite, and I have no reason to believe he would ever be racist.
Yeah, but as you say, this nurse is like, come on, from anathema to anathema, you know what it's like, right?
To an extent, yes, but I don't know.
Come on, we all have the pass. We all have the A pass.
I don't really know if that's the kind of word to be using between us, but regardless, just feels like a weird situation to be in. Did he ever? At least could you at least tip me off? Could you at least tip him off later if he managed to find some of his body parts? He's really gonna need. You already got him to agree to an oath not to bother you again. You could at least help him out.
Unless you want to buy that service from me, in which case I would be willing to negotiate.
Man, you really are a hustler.
While this is going on, this seems like a good opportunity. Korak, just to give you something else to do during this session if you want, do you want to try and advance that plan you potentially had of sending your mushroom children in to sabotage Iolda?
Sure, I guess.
Are you alright?
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, you just sounded like you...
I'm tired.
Oh, understandable. Yeah, it's... Korak works long hours.
Indeed. A hard-working lad.
Yeah, I was told to come in at 9 a.m. this morning when I'm normally supposed to be there for 11.
Ooh.
We were supposed to have a meeting. No one showed up.
Oh my god! Oh, I hope they paid you overtime.
No, because I'm part-time.
Oh.
Oh!
Yeah. Gotta love the economy is so good you could have 3 jobs, but none of them give you benefits.
Oof.
If you want to, I could send you that link later just if
All
you're
good.
interested. Alright, I won't make you do anything too intensive then. Just, go ahead and, make your choice of either a, force... Actually, make this any attribute based on your description. Any attribute plus either sagacity or war for how to, sick the mushroom kids on. And this is something Gavel could do an 8 action with if it's war-based.
Oh, you see, here's the thing. I'm going to be doing a performance.
I will allow that based on how exactly you're going
Welcome
to do this.
to Mushroom Con, people! Come and collect your favorite mushrooms and spread them all around! We have pastry mushrooms, we have meat mushrooms, we even have mushrooms that will suck your dick. I mean... Yes, mushrooms that will suck your neck.
Okay, yeah, any attribute plus
You see,
performance
Nick-
at a stunt.
You see, if you have a good friend Nick, it will suck it. They will suck that nick right off. Any nick on your armor, it will suck it right on off. It will prepare anything as well.
The cast of dipships would like to know your location. Patreon.com/dipships. And if this
8 successes.
difficulty 8.
Yeah,
That succeeds.
baby.
So, I would like to imagine that this mushroom Easter egg hunt, essentially, the way that this damages Iolda is via spreading, the spores everywhere, probably.
Yeah, and those spores have syphilis.
They definitely have some kind of degenerative effect. I don't think it's syphilis specifically, though.
Fine.
Oh no, I know what it would be. It would be an agent that causes metal to rust, because he's a
Yeah.
castle.
And eat rocks.
Yep, mushrooms can do that, too.
Yeah.
And plastic.
Yeah, mushrooms are the king of detrivores.
Yeah, mushrooms cause crazy shit. Throughout the last night of the convention, you start to hear Iolda groan and moan in pain throughout the entire scene. Now, unfortunately, he is going to be using his, he is able to act once a scene. Effectively. As he's going to spend that action on doing a, call for help, essentially. Lythander?
Yeah, awesome.
All of a sudden, the walls around you begin to shuffle as if you're in a flip book, and a figure approaches you, made entirely of crystal spheres, constantly shaping and interlocking among themselves. Like, you know the T-1000 liquid metal?
Yeah.
Like that, but it's made of cubes, or tiny spheres instead of liquid. Hello, my name is Sophia. I am the fennec of She Who Lives in Her Name.
Oh, here's your mushroom! I shove it in the face.
No reaction whatsoever.
Mushroom latches on like a face hugger.
Okay.
That's
I am the sole demon above Iolda himself in the hierarchy of She Who Lives in Her Name.
Ah, I see! So, you're here for Iolda, then?
Correct. I am here to ask that you spare him in exchange for a service rendered to you.
So I have to spare them, right?
You and your compatriots. I will visit each
No,
of them.
you said I have to spare them. Isn't that right?
You know what? On second thought, yes, that is correct. I should be speaking to your superior on the matter. You're not the one in charge here, after all, unless my sources are mistaken.
No, you're right, I'm not. But
Good day.
I'll have you know that Yolda's just getting what they deserve. This was on them. They could have stopped it at any moment, but they decided not to.
Here's the issue with that, is that he did stop. The terms of the contract with him was simply the duel. To go further or to cease his advances on his agenda against your species.
Yes, but this is still part of the duel. The duel never had a victor, did it? They ran away.
The Prince of Hell himself declared the duel to be over, and as punishment that his world body would be used as the venue for this event.
You just go find who you think's superior to me.
Very well.
I waved
And
him off.
Okay. And she orbits off away from you. Gavel.
Yes.
The similar effect happens to you, and Aura, please make a Fortitude plus Integrity roll difficulty 10 to remain present in the scene with Gavel.
What?
This isn't a mind control effect. This is someone is bending space-time to physically remove you from this dialogue.
Is this a social
Technically,
influence?
yes.
Okay. I get two, I guess I get two automatic successes from this. Thanks to Harmonious Presence meditation. What does this count as? Is this an instill? Is this a weaken action? Is this a persuade action?
Via persuading the atoms of your body to not be here.
Persuading.
That was the... did you
Is it
just
persuade
dead name
influence?
them?
No. Not what I meant.
I know,
persuading
but-
on at a microscopic level.
At a chemical level, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to commit 2 motes for elusive dream defense. When I am targeted by a persuade influence, I can commit the motes. I can commit 2 motes to gain the bonus, the resolve bonus of 3 until the end of the scene. I may end this charm to gain a major intimacy opposed to the persuader's intent.
If you want to, you could pop that so that you're in the negotiation instead of Gavel.
I mean, I kind of wanted both of us to be in here.
Okay, so stick with the base
but-
bonus then, of the bonus to resolve in terms of dice bonus on this.
Alright, so my resolve is 4, right? And then boosted by 3 to 7.
In that instance, she's going to be making... Sophia's going to be making a roll in order to force you out of the scene. Difficulty 7. Do you have any intimacies you could...
Does it...
Oh, well, you still beat her.
Wow.
I still beat her. That's 12.
Uh...
Wait,
Nope.
no, that's the wrong
Uh-oh.
direction. Hold on. Let me roll that again. Let me roll that one more
Alright.
time.
You did it again. Or no, never mind. Okay,
I
yes,
did it for
you
the
did.
first
Bless
time.
you.
It went
Thank
away,
you.
so I automatically assumed that it went to the next post.
No,
Oh,
I didn't. Okay, it didn't. It did not work. Unfortunately, it did not work.
See, here's the thing. It adds to your resolve, right?
To my resolve.
Can you think of a stunt in service to a principal to carrying a gavel that could allow you to pierce through?
Indeed, I can. I have faith. I have a major intimacy of faith toward
Alright,
Gavel.
add 4 dice.
oh my goodness, please.
I got 2. God damn it, I'm just
You are,
short.
in fact, just short. You are screaming at the edge of the alternate dimension like Walter White trapped in the car. Gavel,
Yes.
space begins to warp and bend around you as suddenly you are alone in the convention hall
Hmm.
with a being made of spheres.
Oh.
You recognize that this is the Fennec soul of She Who Lives in Her Name, the core heart of that Yozi, and the only superior above Iolda in that soul hierarchy.
Oh.
Just as Ligeia is the heart of Malpheus, Sophia is the soul of She Who Lives in Her Name.
Okay.
She's just standing here, leaning casually against one of the empty stalls looking at you. The Hammer of the Yozi, as you were so named.
Yes, I believe I won that title in a duel.
As such, I shall respect it and append it to your notices formally. I am here as a request that you refrain from your slaying of Iolda,
To what end?
to the end of his being your superior. It is considered unlawful for the smaller to rebel against the grander. Naturally, as you are a human being, and humans have proven to be troubling to keep in their little boxes in time, this prohibition is something that, loath as I am to admit it, it is within your capacity to disobey. I suppose then it is time to try for the carrot instead of the stick. Should you cease your assaults on Iolda, I will aid you in whatever task you see fit.
Even if that meant going to battle against the Kingdom of Prasad itself?
Yes.
So let me ask you this then. Is it just about this hierarchy of superiors and lowers? Is that the only reason why you wish for Iolda to stay alive? Or is there something else? Some sort of grand scheme that you have in mind for Iolda?
I'd like you to do a read intentions on Sophia.
Ooh, okay. What should I roll for that?
This is going to be your choice of either sagacity or awareness.
I will.
Unlike with Embassy, this is looking into spiritual matters.
Yep, I will do sagacity. Any attribute?
Any, yeah.
Okay. Please. 3 successes.
You have no goddamn idea.
Ooh.
I think her response is this: do you ask the wind why it blows?
Yes.
I've attempted to, but unfortunately to no such avail.
And I do not ask you why you breathe, do you not? Or rather, why any of you organic life breathes. To survive, to act as they are designed to do, I am merely fulfilling my function as an embodiment of the concept of hierarchy itself.
I see. Then I shall say this. Let me think upon it.
There will be time before he is at his most vulnerable. At that moment before the final blow would be struck, I will come to you again, and should you spare him, then I will assist in your war.
Then we shall discuss it then. I'm quite interested at what you might have in mind, and of course what your limits would be.
I shall grant a visit unto SWILIN herself, and begin contract work. I shall send a representative of my second circles to speak with one of yours, though, given the fact that they are occupied among each other at the time, that may be difficult. I don't know if Gavel knows what's happening to the Ashen Ones right now, so, Plamora, sorry, I'm mixing up my big demons again, sorry. Sophia gestures, and one of these spears inside of her body shows an image of the Ashen Ones, all being overlaid on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
This is a defensive measure your kinsman cast on them with his newfound power of betrayal to prevent Iolda from obliterating all of them at once.
I see.
While it will protect them against my subordinates' wishes, it makes communing with them difficult. Should Rashid, or she wouldn't know his name, should that exigent dispel this prowess, I will be able to continue to workshop this, as it were.
I see. That's fine.
I would recommend having some way to shield them from Iolda's influence so that there is something to negotiate with.
I believe that shouldn't be too difficult.
Very well. I shall see you at the scene of the final battle, then.
Gavel gives a slight bow.
A flickering of pages back, and Gavel pops back into where she was.
Hmm.
Aura, you saw Gavel vanish, and you knew enough that someone was trying to take her to a private space to talk, but this was someone with a crazy amount of power over reality itself. Like, this was dealing with a fucking reality warper who made a temporary pocket dimension on the spot. And unfortunately, you were unable to pierce back through, but after a few minutes, Gavel just shows up where you left her. None the worse for wear, it seems. Unfortunately, Chill's maybe put in the funny quiet zone again, so...
Hello.
Oh, okay,
Hello?
you're back.
Hello? Alright. What did I miss?
Gavel, did not commit yet to sparing Iolda. She said, wait until the final blow's there, then we'll see.
Alright. And
No.
I know this.
As far as you're aware,
Okay.
Gavel just disappeared for a few minutes into a pocket dimension, and then just came back.
Oh, hey, Gavel. I
Ah,
was looking
Aura,
for you.
hello there.
Ah, man. This con was a lot of fun. I must admit I'm a little tired now.
That's a sentiment I'm having as well. It has been quite an eventful, event.
Hmm.
Wait, it was supposed to be eventful?
I'd certainly hope
It
so. We
was.
had that. Aura had her whole panel and everything.
Yeah, you were
Oh,
there,
what?
Lythander. Alright, you were contacted.
Hey, Gavel, Lythander's there!
Yep. Also, Lythander,
Yes.
you're extremely lucky that I didn't punch you in the throat if I saw you earlier.
Wait, what? What did I do?
Well, I originally had thought that you had made Hobkins bipedal, but apparently that is not the case. So
You
you're...
see, I cannot make anyone buy, okay? They were already that when they started.
The lighting changes to the John Wick bisexual lighting as Lythander says this.
Gavel feigns, as in faking it, a punch to the throat at Lythander.
Lythander just looks at it and says, harder.
No, not this time.
Oh, come on, Daddy.
Gavel rolls her eyes. Either way, it has been quite an interesting turn of events. Allies and enemies seem to be cropping up around every corner.
Really, I just got accosted for us not to kill the person we set out to kill.
And as it just so happens, a few minutes ago I was proposed the same thing.
Oh, they said that they need to talk to the leader, not as if I'm not the one who leads us places.
What? The both of you got individually accosted to talk about sparing Iolda, and I wasn't invited?
Oh, sorry, honey, you know that. You know what you are.
We weren't exactly given a choice of having you around, Aura.
Oh, I was just gone. That was my choice, because I saw Hopkins walk on all fours. I knew you'd try to kill me.
The upside is now you have definitive proof that procedure works and you can restore Gavel's legs.
Oh, Gavel, I can make your legs better.
Without any bad side effects?
I mean, do you consider Hopkins a bad boy?
That's unfair and you know it.
I know.
No, Hopkins is not a bad boy.
Do you think I made Hopkins a bad boy? No.
Yet.
You're the one who taught Hopkins to speak.
I did no such thing.
I actually forget who was responsible for that. That happened over a year ago.
It was
in real lifetime.
I think it was Lythander. Lythander planted something into Hopkins, if memory serves, and that was and that was the power of speech. It so turned out.
Right.
You're right, which makes me saying this hilarious.
Correct.
It is.
I did not give him the power to speak. I bet I know some magical arts, that's correct, but not something to give sapient speech to.
That's not what your mother said last night.
You're lucky that... you're lucky Sky Sundering Shadow isn't here.
Why is that? She loves me.
Because I would ask her to use wherever she puts her jawbone so I could beat you with it.
Oh, don't think you'd be able to do it. I don't think you can do it.
I still have wheels to crush your toes, you know.
Also, your arms still work. It's only the waist down that's on the fritz.
Indeed.
Plus my
two arms. Plus, I only need 2 arms to give you a good spanking if needed.
Oh my.
One of the congoers walks by. The brothel section of the con's that way.
Right, I forgot we were in Malpheus for a second.
Implying that real conventions might not have places like that in real life.
They do.
They're just called different things.
Either way, yes, it seems we were both propositioned by the same person to spare Iolda. Did you get any info as to why they would do so? Or at least they would want us to do so?
Well, I was trying to get information to make it so I couldn't do anything to Iolda, but you could. But they saw through it.
I am at a impasse of choices, as it seems. I was offered that should we spare Iolda, this particular person will help us in our fight against Prasad.
I don't believe that.
I believe they might, under the right circumstances.
Why would they go against... Well, no, Prasad is not here. What am I thinking?
They were.
You're thinking of the Yozi in general, I think?
Yeah, I think I'm just thinking of the Yozi.
They were even mentioning something about contracts. Which obviously, Aura, if it comes down to it, I would like for you to supervise. Naturally.
I would be thrilled to.
I do think both of you would also note, that was SWILIN's Fennec, her hearts. The CEO of Hierarchy wanted to talk to you about the Vice President of Hierarchy and why you shouldn't get him in front of a firing squad.
And did they say why?
Actually, they gave me one reason, and I wasn't able to suss out anything other than the fact of so-called lessers rising against their superiors, which I already have a nasty taste for. But but I don't know if I want to bite my pride in order to get a victory in the long run.
It's not worth that.
Right.
There are presses, Gavel. That's something that I thought we both were in agreement on, that they need to go.
You're not wrong.
Are you going to flake on your beliefs now?
I don't want to.
Then don't. We can take them.
You don't... I'm a hammer of the Yozi. You know, a thing that Iolda is a fragment of.
Yes, and what can hammers mean?
Smash things. I know what you're trying to get at. But...
Oh, really now? Break those bonds that so hold you back, then.
And
That's pretty hardcore, actually.
and betray the ones who helped me gain this power in the first place.
The ones who corrupted and besmirched you, yes.
Lythander, they set me free from that awful church when I was just a girl. Me and so many others were trapped under their thumbs, some quite literally. But it wasn't until I had ascended that the Yozi had given me part of their power to help free myself and them. Yes, they may have abandoned me after everything had happened. I was still able to give them a second chance. And that's all I've ever wanted for others. To give them that second chance. Well...
Yes, but you just bound yourselves to another chain.
I don't see the flaw there. I'm a sane. Let me think. They'll arrive again before the final blow is struck to Iolda. At that point, we can get some more intel on either what they may be planning for Iolda, or gain any more other info on Iolda that might be important. Believe me, I'm not exactly enjoying this.
This definitely seems like a topic to revisit in future episodes. I can't think of one final thing to end on, though, as everyone's winding down on gas, and Kendrick Lamar has has proven that it is so much more over than was previously thought. Stop, he's already dead.
You know, I've heard the term beating a dead horse, but there's that's on another level. That's on a brand new scale.
God damn. Well played, Mr. Lamar. Well played.
Wait, what did he do?
Some really impressive shit that we'll discuss off content. Don't worry.
Yep.
It was real cool, and I'll need to watch it though. Anyway, Due pokes her head out from a side chamber. So, I had the bat super hearing on. I did hear all of that, but that's a problem for later. There's another problem now. And she pulls out what looks like a peach that is covered in human blood. I'm not sure if one of the Infernals is dead or not. This might have just been one of the mortals, but there was a murder plant here. Aura, you said that a Tep guy was fucking with the pieces of immortality, right? That's something Dokuzan mentioned. I think I found one of his new peaches.
Yes. Oh, jeez.
In the catering room for the whole convention.
Alright, we're gonna have to... Alright. We're gonna have to issue a sort... We're gonna have to issue some kind of recall.
We don't know what we're gonna have to do, unfortunately, because Brazilian internet has claimed the victim again.
Not another one.
No, I'm still here.
Presumably
no, I'm still here.
Return one day from across the equator.
No, I'm still here.
Thankfully, we're almost at the stopping point, so...
I just looked it up.
I'm back.
That kind of... Philadelphia is going to be destroyed. I mean, I say that as if it wasn't going to be destroyed no matter what, because, hello, Philly residents, this is a message directly to you as a fellow Pennsylvanian. Stop. You make us all look terrible. Stop.
But it's always sunny there, Korak.
Yeah, it's always sunny in the dirt.
Yeah, in any case. Chills, whatever you said was going to be called... Okay, good,
I'm back.
Good.
Alright. But yeah. Alright, we're going to need to issue a major recall on that catering committee. If there's peaches of immortality in the food, everybody deserves to know. Meanwhile, I think we need to find out Tep in order to see what the damage done was. Lythander, Gavel, can I ask you a favor? There was a little soul steel alchemical here. He came running in a different direction. And did you see him?
Lythander, one of your children tugs at your pant leg and points in that direction.
Oh wait, yes. He was a he was only like a helmet and feet, right?
Helmet, feet, and
really
hands. Yeah.
Buggy looking fella.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yes, he went that way. Why?
They're your best bet at finding where a Tep is. If you want to find him, I suggest heading towards his direction.
Thus begins the chase scene, which we will leave for next time.
Yay.
Well, you're partway through destroying Iolda, even with several obstacles in the way, but an immediate threat has now faced its things, and oh no, anyone who eats the food men explode into giant death plants. I've shown you the Kill 6 Billion demon image before. That's pretty much what they do.
Alright.
But before anything else, we have to thank our patrons.
Our lovely patrons.
Woo!
Thank you to GB and to Storm for supporting us at the 6-sided dice tier.
Thank you, lads.
In the near future, I will put up our very first poll to decide what game Rex is able to play once he finally gets enough time to stream in the next few weeks.
Goodness, I feel
once
that.
Once I'm done editing my manuscript for my novel, I will be able to put aside more time for streaming and putting a few more games out there. A couple times a month, just to keep things interesting. In the meantime, any other content may happen in the near future as we continue to refine our schedules and get closer together as we have more shit in the wings coming. FateBreakers is gonna end at some point in the year, but we have some more stuff coming your way in terms of keeping your shit entertained in the hell world we live in. If nothing else, even if the world around us is falling apart, we still have shit to listen to as we continue the work to better our world.
It's the small victories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I went so philosophical there in the end, but I hope everyone has a good night. Next time, we have to we have to do a quick food recall to unpoison the convention before everyone explodes into death plants.
Sorry about that.
It's not your fault. It's a Tep's. You did not grow the fucking death plants. Unless...
I mean, I did grow
Yeah, but they're
some
not
death
lethal.
plants.
They're
Probably
not lethal
not
to
this
humans.
one.
It's only lethal to Iolda. The one that he grew is lethal to humans.
The tip at the top! I'll chase you to the ends of the earth!
Insert gifts of Pete running of your choice here. We'll see you next time for that episode. Take care,
See you later.
Thank you for listening to FateBreakers. We here at the Action Economy crew are proud to bring you this and other AP content, like Tomb of the Red Giant, the first half of our complete JoJo's Bizarre Adventure AP, as well as Rune Runners, our Icon AP. We'll also have a Patreon by the time you hear this. If you like what you've heard so far, feel free to drop us a little bit of money if you can afford to do so, and we could bring you even more content in the future. APs live and die by word of mouth, so if you liked us, please drop us a follow, like, share, retweet, whatever you can think of to help us out. We are excited to bring you more bi-weekly content in 2 weeks from now for the next FateBreakers, and other episodes time permitting. See you then.